Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. In the last part, we continued exploring Clock Town through our first 3-day cycle, and now, well, we're on the day of the final day. We're running low on time before the Happy Mask Salesman's getting the hell out for some reason. So, guess we just have to wait until we can get to the top of the clock tower. Now, something that's pretty cool you can only do on the third day, as long as you have the title deed or a certain other item down the line to get up here. You can get a free purple rupee like that, so that's not a bad way to continue farming for rupees. In fact, that's most of what we're doing on this day, because I've done all the plot things, I've done all the side quest things I can do on this first 3-day cycle. We just need to go rupee grind and get as much done with that as we can to have a nice jump start for stuff moving forward. Again, as well as you get the 50 rupees from each of the first 2 Deku Scrub Playground victories, and you remember to deposit rupees before time for that, you'll probably end the first 3-day cycle just doing this over and over again between 400 to 600 rupees. I think the most I've had by extreme hyper-focusing is about 700. Which is still a long shot from the end-term goal, but there's going to be ways to make more money more quickly down the line anyway. Just having about 600, I'd say, is about all you're going to need. And even then, 600 still in the high end. 450 to 550 is probably where you're really perfect, depending on how good you are at being efficient moving forward. Although if you're using this as a guide, you don't exactly have to worry about that. Just make sure to deposit your rupees at any point in time when you can. Oh, also, I should mention this. Jim said you only get the Bomber's Notebook password once. That's not true. I forget exactly which of the other bombers it is, but if you talk to one of the blue bandana wearing ones, one of them will say the password at least one more time. With that said, it's not too hard to remember the 5 digits for at least 10 minutes to go right over to the Astral Observatory if you're going straight there, so you don't have to worry about a lot. If anything, it's remembering it for what we're doing next that can be slightly a bit of a problem. So I could have continued grinding at this point, but I want to do things in a totally appropriate way, so I'm going to cut myself off at about the 42 I got now. Which isn't too bad, because I think that's going to deposit me a total of 5 something? Yeah, that's like 530 some odd. That's absolutely perfect. By the end of any given 3-day cycle, I've usually deposited more money than I started with. It's maybe only the next section where that's not exactly true sometimes, but even then, usually I'm efficient enough with that. Oh, well, hi there. Hey, Deku Kid, you waiting for us to finish the bridge from the Festival Tower to the Clock Tower entrance up there? Sorry, my apprentices panicked and ran away. This is all we get from a Festival Tower. It's not quite tall enough, is it? Sheesh. Even if we went to the top of the Festival Tower, we wouldn't be able to get up to the Clock Tower entrance. I apologize for all this. Wish I could scare that moon away. Wonder how that moon's doing up there. Oh, that's quite close now. Welcome to the final hours. It's the evening, Carmel. I can't even get to the Clock Tower stairway entrance. This stinks worse than a Dongo breath. This had better be the last of the surprises. Well, based off the counting down number, I don't think it is, buddy. We have more or less 6 minutes to get up there before things get into an instant game over, for the reason you can tell based on the fact that the moon is getting very close and is even growing closer. I could have used this time to do more rupee grinding, because as long as you get in that door before the 6 minutes is up, you're fine. But I just decided to go from here. Don't stop now. Look, you can get up there now. We're on it. Sis! Ah, Tail! We've been looking for you two. Hey, Skull Kid, what if you gave that mask you're wearing back now? Hey, come on, are you listening? Swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon. Hurry, the four who were there, bring them here. Don't speak out of line, stupid fairy. No, what are you doing to my brother? Skull Kid, do you still think you're our friend after that? Well, whatever. Even if they were to come now, they wouldn't be able to handle me. Just look above you. If it's something that can be stopped, then just try to stop it. So we have 5 minutes to save the world. This is somehow separate from the earlier 6 minutes. And we only got one attack we can really do, so let's try it. My shiny. Grab the ocarina as quick as you can. We got the Ocarina of Time back. Princess Zelda gave you this precious instrument. Set it to C and use A and the 4 C buttons to play it. Press B to stop. Suddenly, memories of Princess Zelda come rushing back to you. You're already leaving this land of Hyrule, aren't you? Even though it was only a short time, I feel like I've known you forever. I'll never forget the days we spent together in Hyrule. And I believe in my heart that a day will come when I shall meet you again. Until that day comes, please, take this. I am praying that your journey be a safe one. If something should happen to you, remember this song. This reminds me of us. You remembered the Song of Time. This melody, lingering on the edges of your mind, is a song of memories of Princess Zelda. The Goddess of Time is protecting you. If you play the Song of Time, she will aid you. Snap out of it! What are you doing, lost in memories? Get yourself together! Getting that old ocarina back isn't gonna help us. Somebody, anybody, Goddess of Time, help us please! We need more time! Well, she did say the Goddess of Time was watching over us. Let's give the Song of Time a shot. It's the best option we got. Huh? When did you get that instrument? I guess we get horns as the Deku. What just happened? Everything has... started over. What are you anyway? That song you played, that instrument. That instrument! Wait, that's it, your instrument! The mask salesman said that if you got back the precious thing that was stolen from you, he could return you to normal. Did you completely forget or what? Well, let's go see if he can help us then. We'll talk more about the implications of all this in a few moments. Were you able to recover your precious item from that imp? Oh, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it! Then listen to me. Please play the song that I'm about to perform, and remember it well. Follow along after me. This is a melody that heals evil magic and troubled spirits, turning them into masks. I am sure it'll be of assistance to you in the future. Ah, yes, I give you this mask in commemoration of this day. Fear not, for the magic has been sealed inside the mask. When you wear it, you'll transform into the shape you just were. When you remove it, you'll return to normal. You got the Deku mask to keep as a memento. Press start and set it to the C buttons on the select item screen. Wear the mask with C to inhabit the body of a Deku. Press C again to return to normal. Now, I have fulfilled my promise to you. So please, give me that which you promised me. Ooh. Don't tell me. My mask. You did get it back, didn't you? What have you done to me? If you leave my mask out there, something terrible will happen. The mask that was stolen from me, it is called Majora's Mask. It is an accursed item from legend that is said to have been used by an ancient tribe in its hexing rituals. It is said that an evil and wicked power is bestowed upon the one who wears that mask. According to legend, the troubles caused by Majora's Mask were so great the Ancient Ones, fearing such catastrophe, sealed the mask in shadow forever, preventing its misuse. But now that tribe from legend has vanished, so no one really knows the true nature of the mask's power. But I feel it. I went to a great length to get that legendary mask. When I finally had it, I could sense the doom of a dark omen brewing. It was that unwelcome feeling that makes your hair stand on end. And now that imp has it. I am begging you, you must get that mask back quickly, or something horrible will happen. I'm begging you, you must do it! Really? You'll do it for me? I was certain you would tell me that. You'll be fine. Surely, you can do it. Believe in your strengths. Believe. And thus our adventure properly begins. But before we leave the clock tower, because we're not going to be coming back in here again, I should note there's actually some nice little reference masks on the back of the Happy Mask Salesman, particularly a certain Italian plumber that Nintendo loves. And also one that kind of looks like Falco a little bit from Star Fox. Those are always there. I think some of them can even be seen in Majora's Mask, not Majora's Mask 3D, of course they're there. Ocarina of Time 3D in the Happy Mask Salesman shop. That mask. The Skull Kid uses the power of that mask to do those terrible things. Well, whatever it takes, we've got to do something about it. The swamp, mountains, ocean, and canyon that Tail was trying to tell us about. I bet he was referring to the 4 areas just outside town. There's one in each compass direction. But what do you suppose he meant by the 4 who were there? I have no idea. He always skips important stuff. I guess we should just go and find out. If we go through that gate straight ahead, we'll be heading in the direction of the swamp. Alright, so before we do that, let's think back to what the Scarecrow told us last time. And that there are 2 songs that are involving a certain song involving time. There are 2 other versions of the song Time in the game. The first one is the Song of Double Time, where you play the first 3 notes twice. This allows you to skip forward to the next period of 12 hours in the 3-day cycle. In Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask 3D rather, this was changed so that you can go to any hour you want to out of the ones left in the 3-day cycle. But the very important one is if you play the Song of Time backwards. This is the inverse Song of Time. This slows the flow of time in the 3-day cycle, allowing you to have more time to get things done. I'll get into the exact math in a moment, just know that this is one of the most key songs in the game and it's not even on the quest screen, you just need to know it's there by talking to the Scarecrow. For now, let's investigate the owl statue up here. Ye who hold the sacred sword leave proof of our encounter. We investigated this as the Deku Scrub, but now that we have a sword, we can actually attack it and open it up. That opens that up for a certain song down the line, but it also opens up another mechanic we'll be talking about in a moment. For right now, I actually want to come into West Clock Town and go withdraw money. And also put the Deku mask onto the C buttons because it's going to be very key for like the next 4 parts, basically. What's this? You need something? We want to withdraw money. Excuse me, but let me take a look at you. Ah, yes, Link. If I remember, you're the little guy who deposited 537 rupees. So, how much do you want? The money travels with you through any time travel you do with the Song of Time back in time. Assuming it's because the stamp actively marks in a certain way that he can read how much money we had, even if he doesn't remember us depositing it or something like that. The important thing is this now allows us to come over here to this place. This is the Swordsman School. This training center is friendly, polite, 24-hour one-on-one training that will noticeably improve your sword skills. From now until the end of the carnival, join at a special discount. So, will you try it? We want to do the expert course here. The expert course is a practice session. Cut down the 10 logs using the highly difficult techniques. If you score a perfect 30 points, you shall be taught all the secrets. Have you prepared? So this is more or less a minigame where you need to destroy the 10 logs in a very specific way. If you do different slashes on the logs, you get more points, but the best points to get is with the jump slash by Z targeting and then pressing the A button. But that said, you don't want to just mash the buttons in order. You actually want to press Z a second before you press A, since when you lock onto a target, Link takes a second to orient himself in such a way that he's facing the target directly. So if you wait that second, you will not miss. At least you're less likely to miss overall. Do this for all 10 logs, and you win, you get a reward. I actually forget what you get for winning the novice course, because I have not done it in years. Impressive. I must give you something. Here. Before doing that, we get our 4th piece of heart. We've assembled a new heart container. Your maximum life energy has been increased. Unbelievable. Cherish it well. You know what, I'm actually gonna correct myself almost immediately. I'm thinking harder on, I think the novice course is literally just a sword fighting tutorial. Considering this is the first time you're really gonna be fighting enemies with Link's sword. So now, we actually want to immediately go and get the stray fairy we got as Deku Link at the start of the first 3-day cycle. Because you might think back, oh, weird purple hair guy. When we got the stray fairy back to the Great Fairy in the first 3-day cycle, she said when we got our true form, we should return to her for other help. Nightmare Fuel. Whenever you put on a mask like this, you actually get a little cutscene like that. You can skip it after the first time by just pressing the C button that you haven't mapped to again. So we're not going to see that again, but yeah, that gave me nightmares at a very tender age. And while we're on the way, let's actually investigate that owl statue I hit, because it's pretty key and there's actually some notable differences about it in the 3DS version. Especially its position. It was moved behind the clock tower in 3DS. You can save your progress and quit here. When you reselect your file, my face will appear by your file name. This indicates the next time you reopen your file, you'll resume playing at this very place and time with your current status. Warning, if you reopen this owl file, then reset without saving at an owl statue, you will lose the progress you've saved here. The next time you open the file, you'll restart at day 1 with the status you had the last time you saved using the Song of Time. The owl statues are quick saves. You might think back to the file select screen at part 1 and notice that there was only 2 save files compared to Ocarina of Time's 3. They added the quick saves to the US version of Majora's Mask by sacrificing that 3rd save slot, so you would have more ways to save in the game, period. With that said, the Song of Time doesn't save the game in the 3DS version. That is only for going back in time. Owl statues are your pure save method there. Oh, Tattle, and you, kind young one. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. For now, this is all I can offer you. Allow me to ease your weariness as a token of my gratitude. And great fairies act like fairies. They restore your magic and your health to max if you visit them at any point in time during a 3-day cycle. Oh, kind young one. Scattered throughout the 4 temples in this land are broken stray fairies like me. Please find a way to save them and return them to their fountains. Surely they will add to your strength. Allow me to grant you something good so that stray fairies will not fear you. You got the Great Fairy Mask. Wear it with C. Stray fairies will fly to you when you wear it. You'll know you're close to a fairy who's lost in a temple if the mask's hair begins to shimmer. Come see me whenever your quest has made you wary. So that Great Fairy Mask is our second actual mask. You might have noticed if you're pausing the game and playing along that the equip item screen from Ocarina of Time has just been replaced by a mask menu. Masks are a majority of the unique items we're going to get throughout the game. They're used for side quests, they're used to affect certain encounters certain ways. We're going to be using more or less every mask at least once throughout the game at a minimum. So get used to going to that screen. Also, you may have noticed during the first 3-day cycle, there's a piece of heart here in North Clocktown, but you actively can't get that until you're back into Hylian Link, because Deku Link can't make the jumps. Only Young Link has the hops. So let's talk about time real quick. On the first 3-day cycle in the game, time is accelerated to be double the speed. An in-game hour takes 27 seconds, culminating in, barring cutscenes and points where the timer doesn't progress, the first 3-day cycle takes about half an hour. For every remaining 3-day cycle in the game we're going to be doing, and we're going to be doing a number of them, an in-game hour by default takes 45 seconds, so it's about 54 minutes for the full 3-day cycle. By playing the inverse Song of Time, though, every in-game hour takes 150 seconds, 2.5 minutes just about. So it's almost exactly 3 hours for the full 3-day cycle, which is incredible for helping you get through time as fast as you can. And now that we're on a new 3-day cycle, I actually want to go back to the Astral Observatory and grab another Moon Sphere Glaze. I'm going to need the land title deed once again for side quests coming up in this 3-day cycle, as well as the one after that, if memory serves. And it's going to be pretty key. On top of that, there's something else we can look at through the telescope now that will allow us to get another item very early next part, and it's actually why I have as many rupees on me as I do right now, because I'm going to need a lot for the early parts of this cycle. So let's get the needed business out of the way. How you doing up there, Skull Kid? You gonna taunt me? Looking up at the moon? Moon's gonna cry. Crying? Crying. Also, I think about it more, I'm not actually sure if you could even sell the Moon Sphere, because they talk about it being valuable, but I think you can literally only use it for the Deku Scrub in the southern part of Clocktown. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But if we look at the southern part of Clocktown, we see this Deku Scrub leave the town and just do a very long fly around of this part of Termina Field. Activating him I think is the least you need to do, but I always make sure I watch where he enters, because doing that will allow us to grab the aforementioned item that I have the rupees for. He does do some really awkward flybys at some points that you can't really easily track him during. If you go directly down from where I was looking a moment ago, you can actually find the hole he's going to go into and just follow him there. Also, that guy's on that tree. I'm not sure if there's actually anything you can do with him because I've never tried. And go down the hole. How you doing up there, buddy? Trying to get those 40 rupees, it's not gonna be worth your time. Speaking of time, the inverse Song of Time, there is a notable difference to it like the double Song of Time in the 3DS version. It only slows down time to 50% of its native speed. So the cycle takes about 2 hours in that case. From memory, there was actually like a bug reason why they had to do that change, like certain behaviors of NPCs wouldn't work right otherwise, which is kind of weird, but oh well. Whoa! Hey guy, you haven't passed my test, so how do you know my secret code? Nobody but bombers know that code, so why do you know it? Listen guy, you're pretty good. You managed to figure out a code that only we know. Now that's something. I like you. What's your name, guy? Link, huh? Alright, that Skull Kid broke our rules and is doing all kinds of stuff. I'm making Link a new member of the Bombers instead. This is the Bomber's Notebook. It contains the words we live by. Read it over. And we got the Bomber's Notebook. It allows you to keep track of people's schedules. Press start to access the quest status screen, then highlight the notebook with press A to read it. 1. Find trouble and add their names and pictures. Only 20 people will fit in your book. 2. Promise to help them. Mark promises with promise stickers. Never be late with fulfilling your promises. 3. Whenever you solve someone's problem, it makes you happy, so a happy sticker will be added to your book. 4. No removing stickers. Use promise stickers to keep track of people until everyone is happy. Don't forget the rules. Tattle, you tell that Skull Kid he's out of here. He's been acting like a real jerk lately. The Bomber's Secret Society of Justice was added to your notebook. You were taught the secret code. This was added to your notebook. So, the Bomber's Notebook is a way to keep track of very particular NPC schedules throughout the 3-day cycle. You talk to them, and the rough outline is more or less added, and you can see where events they might be involved in are on the book. For instance, Jim and the Bombers are always in the same place, so through all 3 days, you can do the same events with them. Whenever you've completed a character, they get a happiness sticker that's the little star on them. This is very useful on a first playthrough, especially because you might not know where people are and what they are doing. I more or less have all that memorized, so we're not going to be looking at this throughout the rest of the game just about. But it is pretty handy to know all the same. That in particular was changed quite a bit in the 3DS version to be more like a checklist overall. And I do prefer that in some regards overall, and it even added like little sub-events you could interact with certain other characters for, to get hints towards where pieces of heart might be and all that jazz. Ultimately, either version's still pretty handy. With that said, before we leave Clocktown, let's grab the land title deed from this Deku Scrub. There are some other things I could do in this 3D cycle to start. There are routes where I could just go and get all the optional items before I get all into plot. Like there's a chain of minigames you can do over in East Clocktown. But I'm gonna wait until later to do those because I want to get as much plot progress as I can done early on in this cycle. Because I'm trying to be as efficient as I can with this playthrough, and it's honestly one of my most efficient playthroughs, period, in terms of like how fast I get certain things done. But we'll see that more as we go through. We're here for a pretty long time. If memory serves, I think this is almost the exact same length as my Ocarina playthrough. So we're in for a long haul. I always like to think, by the way, this is the same Deku Scrub we saw leaving the telescope, but there's no way that could be, considering he's leaving again. No, I didn't mean to talk to you, sorry. Stop right there. Have you some errand in the swamp? It's dangerous outside of the town walls, so I cannot allow a child like you to... This sword? My apologies, sir. It was wrong of me to treat you like a child. The southern swamp at Woodfall lies in this direction. Be careful. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 4, we're finally really getting started on this adventure now that we can leave Clocktown. See you guys then.